What is up, 7.3 fans? Welcome back to the 7.3 Garage. Today's Sunday. We got some cool stuff going on. I was able to get my dad over here for a couple hours, get some of his time and some extra hands here. I'll show you what we got going on today. And we also have some parts, the beginnings of some new parts that just rolled in. So we should have more this week. And we're going to talk about what to expect this coming week. Again, I'll try to get another video out maybe the middle or towards the end of this coming week. Should have a majority of the parts should start coming in, so we can take a look at what we have and go over some things and just show you guys all the new goodies that are coming in for the truck. But real quick, let's jump over to the truck. I'll show you what the task at hand is today. All right, so this view is probably familiar to everybody, but today I'm going to try and get some of this cleaned up after the old man leaves. But I got to get some of this, just little odds and ends, taken care of. I have some paint, trying to paint some of that stuff up so it all dries up before the engine goes back in. But today what we're doing, I think I went over in the last video, the firewall here. I have the old heat shield has been taken off, and I don't know if you guys can see all these little tabs here is where they had like these little retaining washers, if you will, that went on there. So I'm gonna cut these all off and try and grind them all down. There's a little small spot of rust there, unfortunately, so we're gonna try and seal that up as well. But this whole task is gonna be a lot easier with two people. So we're gonna get the transmission on the jack and get it off that 2x4 and get it out and kind of over to the right. And we're gonna get this. I already cut some of the old heat shield out there that was kind of up in the way. So what we're gonna try, and see if I get this thing focused here for you guys, but what we're gonna do is, you can see where this rust spot is. This is where the downpipe is rubbing, excuse me. If anyone has dealt with OBS Fords, or especially with the 7.3 with the downpipe fitment, they're a bear to take on. So we're gonna try and get that back just so the ease of installation and downpipe removal, because like I said, I am going to be upgrading the turbo in the future here, so I want to make sure that the fitment process goes a little better, and also for comfort while riding around and not having to listen to the downpipe rub on the, up and down the firewall. So we're going to get that. The first thing to do, we're going to try and knock that firewall back out of the way as best we can. We have a, if anyone has ever seen one of these, this is similar to a porta power, but it's basically a mechanically actuated hydraulic ram, essentially. We picked this up at Harbor Freight for I think $70 or something like that, but it works pretty well. You basically just get it's got a foot here on the end, and you kind of plant it wherever you want, and you basically use the pressure to force it open. It comes with all different kinds of attachments that we're probably going to be utilizing today to see if whoops, can't get this camera to focus, see if we can make some of this stuff work here. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this and see how far it takes us, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, so here's the basic setup of how we made this happen. We did have to change up the tip one time just to make sure we had a good bite. So this is basically how we have it set up. Again, we got this at Harbor Freight for like 60 or 70 bucks, something like that. And it's a pretty good investment if you're gonna be doing stuff like this in the garage to kind of modify and customize things. So essentially this is what we did. Where the motor mounts here, there's a nice little spot. We were able to bite it in here with one of the cleats, and we got the working end over here. We ended up changing that long cleat out for kind of this small one. It's probably about 1.5 inch tip or so, but this is a lot better to pinpoint where we kind of wanted to move the metal out of the way, so that ended up working out pretty well for us. So I just left this here so you guys can see basically how we got this firewall to the point it is now. So this is pretty good right now. We're going to check a couple other things. Next we're going to move on to these studs here where all those little holding washers are, or were I should say, that we're holding the old firewall on. So we're going to get some of this, we're going to get this out of here, get these cut off and prepped, kind of fix this little rust hole here, see how bad that is, and then we'll start working on degreasing again, and then getting that the firewall mat traced and on in place. So we'll be right back. All right, so we got cardboard set up here, and we got the transmission covered up, and we're just gonna start taking some of these off. We already did one real quick, and it came off pretty well, so keep going with them. Good, Pops. That one was hot. Oh, those jumping down your shirt wouldn't be very fun. All right, so Firewall is prepped and ready to go here. We actually have the heat wrap out, and we got some measurements already. This is from DEI, Design Engineering. They're a pretty well-known company in the automotive industry, but I ordered this setup here from Summit Racing. I got the 42-inch by 48-inch sheet. It's about $100 shipped, or 110 shipped, so it wasn't too bad. But they said that the adhesive's good for like 450 degrees, and then the actual material is good for like 1750. So that should be pretty good to just keep a lot of the heat out of the cabin. They said it does help with some road noise, but this is it's a 3/16" thick. It's got a nice adhesive on the back. So we already have our measurements, but we're gonna get a little, I guess a little stencil, if you will, so we can try and get a nice straight edge on it, and we're gonna get it kind of held up there and see what we need to trim off, and then get it up in place and show you what that looks like. All right, guys, so we have the basic template cut out here. This is gonna be the hardest part, is try to get this, I'm trying to get it fitted before I actually stick it down. It's stiff stuff. I mean, the 3/16, it's good, but it's my first time doing this, so it's a little bit of a challenge for me, but we have it fitted up pretty decently. I'm pretty happy with how this fits so far. I just gotta work my way down a little bit here, but they make a tool that almost looks like a paint roller that has a similar dowel on there, but it was like a $20 part or tool that I'm never really going to use besides now. So we just basically cut a piece of wood dowel, and I'm kind of using that to, push and conform and get everything kind of squared up and ready. So once I have this whole, I guess, firewall, if you will, ready with how I've had it molded, I'll go ahead and peel the adhesive off and get it stuck on there. So I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to show you what that looks like when we're all done. All right, so we have basically the finished product here. We have, I kind of had to overlap the heat shield here, but I had to cut a separate piece for the top, just the way that the firewall is. I really didn't want to have one single piece and have it all bent up, so we ended up just cutting a small piece here and got it up here. But the product is pretty easy to work with. I like it. Pretty eager to see how well it blocks the heat out, but I think it came out pretty good. That little dowel we made, I think I showed you guys in the last clip there, worked pretty well for me. I got a couple more small pieces that I'm going to kind of fit in here and kind of follow where the downpipe's going to be sitting next to all the AC and all that stuff. But I mean, as far as this goes, it's pretty solid in there, and I'm pretty happy how it came out. So let's go over and check out some of the parts we have for the truck that we're going to be getting set up for the build next week. All right, so here's some of the parts that we got in. These are both from Diesel Site. I've been a proponent for Diesel Site for a long time. I'm running their transmission. I had their adrenaline pump on my truck that was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I gave Bob Riley a call over at Diesel Site. He recommended getting a new pump, so that's what I did. So I have a brand new adrenaline high pressure oil pump, and he said some things have changed internally, so I'm pretty excited to get that on there. This is pretty cool, and I'm actually kind of excited about. I've been wanting one of these, but this is the Diesel Site low pressure oil pump. So I guess they had redesigned this within the past year or two. So I want to get my hands on this, but if you want to come check this thing out. As opposed to the Melling pump, it's similar in dimension, but with the gerotor on this one, I really can't tell, but it's probably about the same amount of teeth. But the gerotor in this one is a lot deeper, so the Melling I have right here. The Melling pump is, in regards to the teeth size, or the amount of teeth, but this is pretty thin. The Diesel Site one has probably got another about a half or quarter inch on it. So the reviews online are actually pretty good for these. They move a ton of low pressure oil. So it's awesome. So if anyone's interested in those, go on over to Diesel Site and check them out. They've been helping me out a lot with the parts that I've been needing. So they've really been taking care of me. So big shout out to Diesel Site. And another thing, I got a lot of parts coming from Brian over at Jelly Boat Performance. I ordered parts from him yesterday. So we'll talk about those and see those when they get in. I got a couple other things coming from Irate Diesel. So this week, we'll get the parts in. I'm gonna do a whole video on that. My buddy Dave is coming over from the West Coast. He's coming over with the engine that we're gonna be using for the build. So when he gets over here, I'm gonna do a whole big vlog on basically tearing the motor down with him, showing you the parts and getting the engine ready to go. So pretty excited about that. So we got a lot of stuff coming up this week that I'm gonna be looking forward to, and hopefully you guys will as well. But that's all I got for this one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Please share with your friends if you have any questions or thoughts. Post them below. I think that's all I got. So until next time, in the 7-3 Garage, I'm Brandon. See ya.